Hi, this is me. I'm Lauren. I am 18 years old and my life is pretty crazy. This all began on February 18th, 2001, at the bright hour of 1 o'clock in the morning. My mother fell asleep watching The Longest Yard, and that's when I decided to make my big entrance into the world. My father was in the middle of poker night. I think he was losing anyways. But they had to leave the house, but the poker game remained intact, minus my dad, but they stayed in our house as we went to the hospital. 3 hours later, at 3:14 a.m., I have officially entered the chat. As I look back, growing up, there are many people in my life who have influenced me as a future educator and have shaped the teacher I would like to become. My first memory of teachers was my preschool teacher, Miss Connie. She owns an at-home preschool called Positive Start in Woonsocket. I remember this is where I learned my ABCs, how to write my name, and how to count. Miss Connie was a woman with a huge heart and a passion for working with children, but she was also not afraid to stand by her rules. If we don't want to eat what she cooked us for lunch, we would have to sit there until we ate it all. No playtime. And of course, if you said, "I am full," she'll give it to you for snack time. One time, I sat for an hour and did not even touch my lunch. "I'm full, Miss Connie." "Okay, go play." And then at snack time, all of the kids got a fruit salad with homemade whipped cream. I had to eat my pea soup from lunch. As a teacher, just like Miss Connie, I would like to make sure I stick by what I say. I wouldn't make kids eat pea soup for snack, but I would like to stay true to my word and the rules of my classroom. Moving on to kindergarten, I had a brilliant teacher named Mrs. Thibodeau. Very quickly in the year, she began to have a good relationship with all of the students in her room. We all even had running jokes. Mine was that I was always in my own little world. She would ask me from the front of the classroom. Well, I was probably spacing out, but she would ask, "How is La La Land today?" I would respond with how the weather was. One day I responded, "It's sunny today," and she would say, "We should all visit as a class sometime. Your world seems so special." I would like to have a good relationship with all of my students. Whatever that relationship may be, I want them to remember me when they are adults, as I remember Mrs. Thibodeau. I would like to say that all of my teachers had a great impact on me, which is true. However, one teacher had a great negative impact on who I would like to be as a teacher. My 8th grade algebra teacher. Growing up, my favorite subject used to be math. I would spend my free time adding and subtracting and figuring out number combinations. It was great. This all changed once algebra came along. The first day of class, she told us, "I don't like questions. If you don't understand something as a general statement, I need you to figure it out. Do not come to me unless you have specific questions. I will not go over the material with you, especially when we talk about it for a whole class period." Right off the bat, this made me afraid of math and afraid to ask for help. I feared that she didn't want to help. Right after that first class, my mother and I got me a tutor, and I was fine for the rest of the year. But many of my friends did not have it that easy. My best friend's parents were going through a divorce, and her father was moving to Colorado because of this. She was struggling in class and would ask for help but would not get it in return. She was humiliated and forced to sit at the front of the class. She would ask for help, but she would not get it. If I learned something from my 8th grade algebra teacher, it's that the classroom should be an environment where students are not afraid to ask questions. Try, fail, and continue to work towards something. I felt like I had failed in that class, and I don't want my students to feel the way that I did. Luckily, in the 9th grade, I met Miss Karen DeSano. She was the head of the teacher preparation education pathway that we offered at my high school, and this opened the doorway of teaching to me. We had a play school at our high school that I attended, and we would lesson plan and teach the children our lessons. She pushed me and my love for working with children to a different level. Mrs. DeSano ran the play school. Every day we'd come in and she had a bright smile on her face. She would tell us that with everything we do, find the teachable moments. There will always be teachable moments. She also taught me that there are many ways to say things, and the way you say them is important. One day I came in crying because I was stressed about a test the next period. And she told me honestly, "Lauren, I'm sure you will do amazing on your test. Let's take a deep breath, in and out. Now, let's change the channel. The play school children are coming today. We need to remember this is all for them. As a teacher, sometimes we need to put on a brave face for the children. Do you think we could do that together?" She could have easily told me to go to the nurse's office or guidance, but she took a minute to calm me down. I realized that of all the teachers I would like to take a little piece with me, it's Karen DeSano. Although I had many influences with teachers in my life, teachers in many shows I watched as a child made me want to be a teacher as well. Looking back, some of the ways teachers were portrayed makes me question how they were. The first show is Victorious. Quick debrief. Victorious is set in Hollywood at Fine Arts High School. They have a crazy acting teacher named Sikowitz. And let's be honest, we all wanted him to be our teacher. This is an episode where he was teaching the students about method acting.
I really don't think method acting's all that hard.
Then I issue a challenge.
What kind of challenge?
Who wants to have a sleepover at my house?
I do. Oh, come on! You guys don't want to see where this lunatic lives? No offense.
Many things Sikowitz does is intriguing. He uses different ways to get students involved in fun activities so they get experience with method acting. However, other than the fact that it is widely inappropriate to go to a teacher's house for a sleepover, which is the first red flag, another is that he puts the children in danger, asking Jade to pick up a tray of hot quesadillas. To me, this glorifies teachers in a way, especially claiming that being so close to your students makes it okay for them to sleep over your house, which it is not, as well as you have to be super crazy out of the box to be a fun teacher or a good teacher. And when this class first started, I was not expecting that I had to unpack so much about my past or myself. And although there is still a lot to unpack about myself and my teacher identity, I do know this. I would like to be a teacher who finds a way to connect with all of her students. Unlike the TV shows, I would do this with comfortable boundaries and still educate. I will stick with my word and abide by my own rules I make for the classroom. I will teach for all students, ones with different learning abilities, backgrounds, and I will create a classroom setting that is about making mistakes and turning them into teachable moments. Thank you.